Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining our live. And for those who aren't joining, who haven't joined us yet, we are going to give them a few seconds so that they can be able to join our live. Thank you, guys. And thank you. Please share the live. And we're going to start in a few with some interesting topics. Once again, my name is Aurora, and I am the hotline coordinator for the Belize Wildlife and Referral Clinic and an educator for the Wildlife Ambassador Program.
Do we have anybody joining us so far? Good afternoon.
We want to know if anyone can hear us. If you can hear us, please comment yes. Enter.
So I can check because I can't check whether anybody out there. We don't have anybody joining us yet.
Okay. So we're gonna do the countdown to give time for those who would like to join us on our live.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Yes.
Yes. Can anybody hear us? Maybe we can have somebody give us a brief thumbs up, some sign of life out there. Are we alone?
So
Can you hear us?
yes.
So let's-
So good afternoon, guys. Thank you for joining our live today. We're once again here. We're going to be talking about some interesting topics, and I hope you can participate because we are going to have a prize at the end of the live. So whoever answers the correct answer first will be the winner.
And what is the prize?
It's a surprise. We're gonna say it. We're gonna share it, but we want you to join and participate on our live. So again, good afternoon. My name is Aurora, and I'm the Highline Coordinator for the Belize Wildlife and Referral Clinic, and and an educator for the Wildlife Ambassador Program. So let's start with our first topic for today, which
Let's wait. Let's have some news first.
okay,
Actually.
all right.
Because we wanted to mention that we have already started our Wildlife Ambassador Program Phase 2, thanks to the Global Environment Facility. And we have already held our first two-day workshop at Galen University last week. Congratulations once more to all of our newest wildlife ambassadors. And yes, we're hiring, so that's really important news. And you all can help us by sharing our flyers and helping us headhunt for the perfect educator for the program. I think we have a flyer that we can share in the chat, or it's on our Facebook page as well. And it has a QR code on it that links to the terms of reference for the job description. What other news do we have? Oh, we wanted to share with you what simple things you can do right now. That's not going to cost you a penny, and it's going to help us out. So, number one, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It does help us to share awareness. It is called Belize Wildlife Clinic. We have just a tiny little bit more subscribers and we have videos up there. Lots of interesting stuff about wildlife, One Health, and different zoonotic diseases. You could also find us, of course, on Facebook and on Instagram. And what is it called? Like, follow, subscribe, all of the above, and share those posts because the more awareness and posts that we can share, the more we can jointly work towards our goal of One Health and coexistence with wildlife and the environment. And did I forget any? Oh, yes, do comment if you have any questions. So, our topics today are already briefly mentioned. If you have any questions on screwworm and or avian influenza, feel free to comment, and we will try to answer as far as we can. That's what I have for brief first news.
So yes, thank you guys for joining. Share the live, please. And we're gonna be starting with our first topic for today, which is the New World screwworm. I am joined by our founder and veterinarian, Dr. Isabel, who, in addition to being a veterinarian, also completed her PhD in parasitology, epidemiology, and One Health. And I understand that our first disease is, in fact, caused by parasites. Could you tell us more about this, Dr. Wright?
Yes. So yes, indeed, my background prepared me a bit well for this new disease on the horizon. Well, in fact, you'll learn it's not new, but returning. And it is a parasite. It's the New World screwworm that's also called Gusano Baranador, and it may still be familiar to some of our elders. It's called screwworm, but it's actually not a worm by definition, but it's a flesh-eating fly larva. First things first, this disease is so serious, it's a reportable disease, which means that if it is suspected, you and we have to immediately report it to the Belize Agricultural Health Authority, or BAHA. We will also share materials as well as a video from BAHA that they have prepared, because this disease is actually one that we are in high alert for right now, because it is around us. And it is also one of 5 diseases that were recently prioritized by Belize as a priority zoonosis to address. So, yes, this parasite is truly a good example for One Health and all these connections once again, because it affects us all. It affects humans, it also affects domestic animals and livestock particularly, and wildlife. It can have devastating impact on the livestock industry and even fatal consequences for both animals and humans. It does not only threaten just our health and the health of animals, but it also threatens livelihoods and food security. And yes, so this fly that causes all of this trouble is called by species name Cocteomia hominivorax, and its last name stands for man-eating, or translates as man-eating. Why? Because the larvae burrow into the flesh and cause very severe, deep injuries. So most affected by this parasite. All species can be affected, anything warm-blooded, but the biggest impact is seen currently in cattle, some other livestock, pets, and also wildlife.
Yeah. Some may say, isn't it just another botfly? Or why is this so harmful?
Yeah, so it is, practically speaking, just another butterfly, but it is quite different. This fly is from other flies. There are many flies that can lay their eggs on wounds or on skin, and then their larvae will hatch and develop there. But the screwworm is a bit different in that it lays hundreds of eggs as opposed to having just one big botfly. These wounds are often covered with hundreds of maggots, and it most botflies will not cause very much injury. They are, of course, disgusting, and a local infection may develop, but it's pretty encapsulated and isolated, whereas screwworm is deep burrowing, causes severe secondary infections and damage. It eats the tissue wherever it started out, and it will very often kill its host if it's not treated. And this has including happened in humans, which, speaking as a parasitologist, that's rare. Parasites generally want to maintain their host and not kill them, but there are a few cases where then they're actually called parasitoids for definition's sake, that will kill their host. It's thankfully quite rare.
So, is this a new disease?
No. For a little history snippet, this disease was once eradicated, and it was last seen in Belize in the early 1990s, and I believe officially eradicated by 1994. I'm not firm on the exact year, because the country had to be clear of the fly for a certain period too before it was declared free. But it was a multinational, international effort in the 1980s and 90s that finished in the early 2000s, with the last countries in Central America becoming free of this pest. Yes, sadly. So it continued to exist in South America, and sadly, it has come back into Central America about 2 years ago now. It breached the border that there was a land border in Panama, and it has been moving up north. The numbers of detected infections have been increasing constantly, and it has been coming closer and closer to Belize. So most recently, it has been reported after increasing in Honduras. Now it has reached Guatemala, and the most recent cases were even reported north of us already in Mexico. So it's on our doorsteps, and it is basically a matter of time until it may be detected. And yeah, no, it's not new, it's old, but it has increased in being even more aggressive, it seems. And we have to be prepared to see it. And it's crucial that as soon as we see it, it gets reported and treated so it does not spread, because it will spread fast and far. Um, yes, so that's to is it new?
So an important question is, how can we prevent this fly?
Good question. There are several things that we can do. So, number one is monitoring all of our animals every day and not allowing any wounds, because this fly is attracted to wounds and the smell of flesh and blood. So, be it a surgical wound or be it a injury wound, a small trauma, it can be very small wounds that attract this fly. So if all wounds are treated immediately and cleaned and monitored daily, then we can prevent the fly maggots from developing and settling in. There are further preventative treatment recommendations that will most likely be shared should we see cases in Belize that will be taken for small procedures when doing necessary treatments. Yes.
Yeah. So why is it so important to report any suspicion immediately?
Yes, it's so important to report any suspicion immediately because this fly develops fast. Those of you that know botflies, usually this takes several weeks from the little maggot to the full-on botfly. In the case of screwworm, the larvae will develop in as little as 7 days, and they will start very small. So you may not see them at first if you're not very, very attentive to it, and then you miss a wound for a while. So by the time you see it, they may be almost ready to drop out of that wound and then pupate and turn into adult flies, at which point they will each lay, what was it, up to 300 eggs per time, and this up to 10 times, so up to 3,000 more flies from each egg. With 300 eggs, you can do the math. So therefore, it's key to respond immediately and to report these suspicions so that they can be detected, treated, and it can be prevented from any further spread. I hope that. Um,
So we're going to be sharing some flyers from Baja, and you can also see them in the comment. We're going to be sharing them in the comment. Um, so yes, one more thing we want to make mention is that we are hiring. So please apply if you fit the criteria. Send us your CV And what other information we should?
Read the terms of reference. They're also available online with a QR code. And we do have a video to share for, yes, so here's our flyer. I'm not sure if it's showing already or. Mhm.
Cut.
Mhm.
Yeah, so this is our flyer for our wildlife educator position. So feel free to apply, and we are always happy to respond to you. Um, so any other thing we want to share, Dr. Ed?
No, I think we can share the video that is prepared by BAHA, the Belize Agricultural Health Authority, with the support of several sponsors. Because, as I mentioned before, as a reportable disease that is emerging on our horizon and everybody being in high alert, we did not have to reinvent anything here, but we will share what was already prepared with both this video and then those flyers. And if you have any trouble in seeing them, or if we have trouble sharing them there, then always feel free to email us at bzwildlifeclinic at gmail.com, and we can share them via email. Because, yeah, awareness is key. And are we ready to?
Yes. So we're gonna share the short video.
And then the dismiss doesn't have sound. Gmail.com, and we can.
So yes, that was the short video from Baja Screwworm. And
Did it work? Sorry, I think it didn't work with the sound. Or do we have anybody out there that can tell us if they could hear anything? I just saw the subtitles, but anybody out there?
so yes, that was the short video from Baja Screwworm.
Nobody out there?
See some?
Uh-huh. So, yeah, can we get anybody to let us know if anybody is still out there with us? Couldn't hear anything. Yes. So then I guess the next best thing we can do is recommend that you copy the link, and or we share the link in our, if it plays.
So we're gonna do
How does it?
this way.
Okay. So we'll try again. If it plays. No, that's not working.
Begins when a female fly lays her eggs in a wound or mucous membranes of a live, warm-blooded animal. These eggs hatch into larvae that burrow into the flesh and feed on living tissue, causing severe damage if left untreated.
Monitoring your animals regularly is key. Check your livestock and pets for any wounds. No matter who smell, even something as tiny as a tick bite can attract newer screwworm flies. Clean and treat all wounds immediately. Keep them covered and monitor them for any signs of infection or larvae. Early treatment is critical to stopping screwworm infestation. USDA, or the Ministry of Agriculture right away. Quick action can prevent the spread and protect your livestock and the community. Together, we can protect our livestock industry by preventing your swarm from entering Belize. Stay vigilant, treat wounds, and report any signs to the proper authorities. Stay informed, stay protected.
Okay, so I hope you were able to somewhat appreciate this. It is not very long, but you can also find this online. Um, this is on the Belize Livestock Producers Association website that we found this. Maybe, Aurora, you could pull up the flyer from Baja so that we can share that on the screen, and see if anybody has any questions out there. Please put them in the chat, and yes, let us know if you see this is one is a poster and the other one is a trifold um, on New World Schoolworm. Is it visible? Question mark out there. So this is what we mentioned that we can share with you as a digital scan for sure as well. And it helps spread more awareness on those basic facts. Know that this is a parasite that affects all mammals. It's flesh eating. It's very painful and serious. It's the female flies that lay their eggs and they're attracted by blood. They can, so I mentioned that they lay their eggs on wounds, but it's not only on wounds. They can also lay their eggs on mucous membranes, so on the eyes or in the mouth or in the ears. And the first larva that you will see is after about 3 days. So they start very small, which is another difference to most of the other botflies that we see here commonly. And yeah, how you can help, report and check with Baja. before import or export of any animals. There's all sorts of control measures to ensure that we don't import this and or export. Keep on checking your animals for wounds daily and treat all wounds. Do not allow any wounds to fester because that will attract the fly. So that's one. And do we have anybody out there that actually can see these posters? Yay, awesome. This little trifold, we will share this over the next days in little snippets as well. Gives you a bit of an overview of what the, first title picture here, beautiful fly, no? Then you have your maggots in question. Oops, is it us now or do they still see the poster? We're not the maggots. The maggots are on the screen, I hope. No, they're not. Not showing?
No, it's good.
Can you open the... Aha, we're back. Okay, no, the maggots are back. Yeah, it gives you a little bit of a description on identification, but at this point, nobody is asked to try to identify this themselves. Everybody is asked to report any suspicions and have an eye out for any wounds. You can see the picture there of the wound, very deep. They're often also very smelly and very painful. And then we'll get secondary infections. So once more, the recommendations for screwworm are to be vigilant for any signs, to look for wounds, treat any wounds, report any maggots, and yes. So did we get any questions or comments on New World screwworm? Otherwise, we would be ready to introduce our quiz questions to see if we get...
Before we go to the quiz question, I want to share the picture of the first workshop held at Galen. And so we want to congratulate all 16 participants who were all certified for the Wildlife Ambassador program. So we are proud to say that we have kickstarted phase 2 and we hope to reach to your door. If you would like to join the program, please pre-register and we will be following up with you. We will be countrywide doing the training. Once we have a group of 18, minimum 16, then we are going to organize this workshop for you so you can be able to be certified as well. Anyone has any questions so far before we go to the quiz questions? Again, we ask if you could participate. You're gonna be winning a prize. I'm gonna be showing that prize shortly. I'm just gonna go and get it.
Hi, everybody. I'm Andrea,
I'm Sarah.
and we're staying here and interning at BWRC currently. Oh, no. Good practice.
And do we have sound?
Yes, we do have some. So we want to introduce our 2 interns that will be here with us. Would you mind sharing your name, please?
Hi, I'm Andrea.
I'm Sarah.
Yes. So this is the prize, and this is our first design, right? For the third design, and we will be giving out this T-shirt. So whoever answers correctly first will get to win this shirt from us. You just have to tell us your location, and then we can either ship to you, and you can get it. So yes. Who wants to go first with the...
Alrighty. So the first question is, what is the species name of the New World screwworm?
We're gonna wait to see
I'll
who
wait.
comments. Please comment your answer so we are able to see the correct answer. Do you want to see that one?
Yeah. Sure. Want me to go to the second question? So the second question is, how many eggs can a fly deposit at each time?
Alrighty, and then number 3 is how quick will the larva develop? Sorry.
And then number 4 is, what is the most important thing to do when suspecting screwworm larvae on any animal, or worse, a human in Belize?
So yes, comment guys, comment your answer, and we will be seeing your response. So we're gonna repeat the question one more time.
Alrighty. Sorry. Okay, so number 1 is what is the species name of the New World screwworm?
And number 2 is, how many eggs can the fly deposit each time?
Number 3 is how quick will the larva develop?
And number 4 is, what is the most important thing to do when suspecting screwworm larvae on an animal, or worse, a human in Belize?
Yes. So if you have been watching our live, you will know which one was the answer because we mentioned it when we were starting. So we're gonna see who's gonna be the winner. Comment guys, comment.
Should we play the Jeopardy theme song?
So we're gonna write the questions for you in case you missed it. Yeah. So yes, we have the correct answer already. So yes, someone already answered the first question, and her name is Noelle Abigail. I hope I'm pronouncing her name properly. And yes, she did answer the first question correctly. So congratulations to Noelle. You have won our t-shirt. You can just send us a message and then we will be reaching out to you. So yes, thank you guys for joining our live and for responding to the correct question. If you want to participate, keep on following us and we will be having more lives. So you can always join us and be a part of our live and win another prize. So
Yeah. We have a winner already? Okay, well, that was fast. Yes.
So yes, thank you, Dr. Cynthia, for your comment. It is correct what you said, but we already had a person who answered first.
Oh, really?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
So congratulations to Noelle Abigail. Thank you for joining our live as well. And you want to say any other thing here?
We are now going to talk about avian influenza still for a moment.
Yes.
We have a second disease. It'll be much shorter, but that concludes all of our screwworm topics.
Alrighty, well, congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you.
So you want us to play the YouTube?
Yes. So you didn't need any time to think. Thanks for being so fast. So we can jump into the second topic, which we had listed. That is a very brief update on avian influenza. And For that, we will share with you, or Aurora will share with you a video that is on our YouTube channel, which plug again, please subscribe to our nerdy YouTube channel for Belize Wildlife Clinic, and you can find this and more videos there. So the video is 2 years old, but the introduction of the disease has not changed, obviously. Afterwards, I will briefly go over some snippets of a recent CDC update from November 18th to fill in a bit of what has changed in the last 2 years, or at least the last few months. And then we'll be done. Um,
Just in case it doesn't. Okay. So we're gonna put it here better so that people can hear.
you know it. That part.
So we're gonna turn the camera.
And do this one. Okay. So again, should it not work well, you can find this video at any time on our Belize Wildlife Clinic YouTube channel. You can find this video at any time on our Belize Wildlife Clinic YouTube channel. You can find this video at any time on our Belize Wildlife Clinic YouTube channel. Hello, thank you for joining us for another talk on One Health and zoonosis. Today, I will give you a very brief presentation on another current zoonosis talk on being avian influenza and zoonosis. And the gist of this entire series is to explain why protecting the environment and protecting animals and animal health ultimately protects us by using the example of zoonosis. So we will briefly talk about what is avian influenza, how common is it, its prevalence, how is it actually transmitted between species, what does it look like in animals as well as in humans, and most importantly, as always, the prevention. So avian influenza is caused by a virus. It's the avian influenza type A virus. There are several subparts to this virus that are used to describe it. This currently is the H5N1, but there are different combinations that can occur. So the key points already are that this occurs naturally in wild birds. It can spread to livestock, where it causes high mortality. And the good news as well is that transmission to humans is very rare, but it can happen. It is highly monitored. It's a reportable disease because of its mortality that it carries. So how prevalent is it? It is present in over 100 species of birds, naturally occurs in water birds, and then it can infect domestic birds and cause significant mortalities. It can also infect other domestic species and wild species. It is, as said already, very rare in humans, but it can occur in humans. The transmission from human to human is also very rare and usually limited. It is transmitted via contact with infected birds. So this is saliva or mucus or fecal matter, as well as from the environment. The virus will enter its host through the eyes, nose, mouth, or be inhaled with dust. And it can also be acquired indirectly by touching contaminated surfaces and then touching eyes, nose, or mouth. So here we have a little graphic from the CDC again, showing how this can be transmitted from a sick bird by touching to eyes, nose, mouth, and or by having contact with the environment and these excrements. And then here the birds flapping their wings, aerosolizing this virus, which can then make it be inhaled. So in animals, there are low pathogenic influenza viruses that are not causing as many signs, where it's just ruffled feathers and decreased egg production. And then in the highly pathogenic avian influenza, there can be death without any signs within 2 days. Oops, sorry about that. So in humans, the symptoms range from no symptoms to mild to the possibility of severe symptoms with pneumonia, fever, cough, muscle and body aches, headaches, and shortness of breath. So this disease is certainly under observation because for now it does not transmit frequently to humans and it rarely causes severe symptoms. But as you may know, this can change over time, so observation is very, very important. So how to prevent this? First of all, avoiding contact with infected wild birds. So dead birds found are suspicious. Please do report them. Report to BAHA if you have high mortality in a chicken flock. Dead birds found should be reported as well so that they can be examined. Thoroughly cook your poultry and egg products. A general prevention for almost all diseases is to keep your hands clean when it's diseases that you can ingest. And if you are to deal with infected birds, then protective equipment with face masks, gloves, and coveralls are advised. And if any infection is suspected, as always, please seek medical advice immediately. And that is the end of today's zoonosis presentation on avian influenza. So to summarize, this is a disease of very high concern for poultry, domestic birds, production animals.
Yes.
Oops, yes. Yes, and now, so that was this 2-year-old video. Yes, now I wanted to share with you a little bit of what has happened since. Actually, no, I'm not summarizing the last 2 years, but just giving you a couple of high or call it lowlights and look together at the update from the CDC on the bird questions, please feel free to do so. And otherwise, send us an email to bzwildlifeclinic@gmail.com or call us on the hotline at 615 5159. And yeah, one more repeat. Join us, we're hiring. We need an additional educator. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and we do have an event coming up. If you're anyone interested in ultra marathoning or helping us fundraise, please do contact us. And unless somebody tells me that we have a question in the chat, we can give it another 30 seconds or so. And if not, we may even be over in the time too. We have 2 more minutes.
So yes, we want to thank you all for joining our live. We will be having more lives, so follow us on Facebook. If you missed the video from our avian influenza that Dr. Isabel presented, you can follow us on YouTube as well, and we have all those information and presentation there as well. So follow us, like our page, and feel free to reach out to us with any of your questions. We will be glad to answer any question you might have. So yes, any questions before we leave? Now is the time.
Yeah, it's not now or never. You can ask later too, but now or never, we will close this. And nothing seen so far.
No questions so far.
And we can say, or I will also say, thank you so much and have a good rest of your day.
We want to also say season greetings from our staff. Please be safe and enjoy.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Bye bye.